This is the Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Voyager class Dirge. And here's a quick look at the box art and packaging. No Evo Fusion. I picked up this figure from Robo. Let's get him out of packaging. And here is Legacy Evolution Dirge out of the box. Now, given the fact that this figure is a refresh figure or a repack, we are going to focus solely on the key differences between the first release of this figure, the Earthrise Dirge that came in a 2-pack with Ramjet. It was an Amazon exclusive, and the new Legacy Evolution Dirge. Very subtle differences and one major difference. And that's what this review is going to be all about. Just key differences between the two and our final thoughts on what you should do. So the first subtle difference that I noticed is right here on the chest. The paint that they used for the newer one is a little bit darker than the original one. And it kind of matches the blue plastic that they used for the figure. So I thought that was pretty good. The next subtle thing that they changed is right here on the pauldrons. Don't know if you can see it, but the gold paint and the red paint that they used for those pauldrons are actually a lot more sharper than the original ones. Don't know if it's a consistency issue, but I honestly think it was intentional. This is a lot more crisp and prominent. The next one they did are the kneecaps. You can clearly see that it's a lighter shade of purple. It's more of a McDonald's grimace type of purple rather than this one. This one is a deeper shade of purple yam type of purple. Gold and red paint look the same. The white paint looks a little bit more flashy and brighter in this new one. And perhaps the main difference that they really did with this new figure is the beige plastic. They've remolded the black wings, the plastic, into actual beige wings. The old one was actually made of black plastic that they just used a ton of beige paint and painted over it. And this one, you can clearly see it's a little glossier because it's the actual plastic. This one is a little bit on the matte finish. And between the two, you can see the Decepticon logo is a lot more crisp on this new one. And the panels, the sculpted panels on the wing are actually even more prominent because it's painted over on this one. This one, it kind of disappears at certain angles of the light, and you get to miss those panels and those sculpting details. Even in the smaller wings, the beige paint on the wings just really makes the pieces pop. And finally, the blue plastic that they used, I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera. It's a slightly lighter shade of blue plastic for the new one compared to the slightly darker blue plastic that they used for the old one. This is the best angle I can show you guys, and you can clearly see this one's just a smidge lighter. The black plastic that they used for the guns, the null rays, I think it's identical. If at all, the new one's just a tad bit darker shade, but for all intents and purposes, I think it's identical. One last thing, the clear plastic that they used, the orange clear plastic, is a little darker compared to the much brighter plastic that they used for the Earthrise. And then the eyes, this one I wasn't sure if it was a difference. I thought it was just maybe consistency, but it does feel like the red paint that they used for the newer one is much darker. In terms of mold degradation, the figure, I don't see any. All the joints are still pretty tight. Honestly, I think they've protected this mold very, very nicely. So essentially, that's it. That's the key differences I found with these figures. Let me know in the comment section if you did spot any more subtle differences between these two figures. And so some final thoughts on this Legacy Evolution Dirge. The way I see it is this new one is toy accurate, whereas the old one, because of the paint, the way it just pops, I think is cartoon accurate. I mean, it's a stretch, but that's how I see it. And initially I thought that when I purchased this one, I was going to sell off the old one because, I honestly thought this was going to be the better version. But the way things look, despite this one actually doing a better job with the brighter paint apps on the kneecaps, on the pauldrons, and even to a certain extent the blue plastic, I think looks a little bit better than the old one. It's the painted wings on the Earthrise version, that really clinched it for me, I think. The beige paint on the wings just makes the wings pop, the panels just more defined, and it just makes it look more cartoon accurate. And for me, cartoon accurate just beats toy accurate all the time. That's just me. If you want your Transformers to be toy accurate, sure, this second one is for you. If you missed out on the Earthrise, then definitely you got to pick up this one, and you just kind of have to hope that Hasbro re-releases Ramjet as a single figure, so you can complete your Coneheads. But if you already have the Earthrise, I honestly don't think there's any need to repurchase the figure, unless you're just like a big fan of this character or the Coneheads and you want to repaint it, or just have two figures of the same character on your shelf, then that's fine. But for the casual collector, if you already have the first one, really no need to get the second one. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Voyager class Dirge. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.